Hello friends, I'm David Voth. Friends, this video is going to be, I'm hoping, we just turned this on, right? I just pushed the button, it's a little red button, and it says record. And if it all goes well, what I'm about to say is probably going to be one of the most important videos I've ever made. Although that's hard to judge because there are lots of important subjects. I mean, the videos that I do about Scripture and what the Bible means, those are so important, especially if you're struggling in your mind to understand what's going on and what you believe. And so that's very important. But I say this video is going to be very important because of your physical life. As you sit in your chair, many of you may have some medical problems going on right now. And so for you, if it is a serious medical condition, this could be the one video that is more important than anything else, because you're not going to get to the future if you don't get through the present. So in that sense, your physical being, your physical well-being could be more important to you. And even for those of you who do not have any medical conditions that you know of, or you're not worried about anything at the moment, it's very important that you listen to this, because I'm about to completely blow away so many false ideas and myths, propaganda and garbage, and help you understand some very, very, very simple truths so that you can literally be healthy. I promise you, if you listen to this video and you listen carefully and you try to understand, what I'm about to tell you is stuff that you're going to be able to use. If you're very critically sick, please listen to this video. All right, let's get into this particular video. What I want to tell you is how to get well, and how to stay well, and how to prevent disease. A lot of the words that we use, I think, are very misleading. Dis-ease is a very good word if the real meaning of the word is used. If you're trying to say that you're not at ease, you're discombobulated, then if you mean that, then disease is a very good word. It's a dis-ease. Well-being is what we want. Do I believe then that there is such a thing as disease? You know, like the doctors talk about. You know, there's this terrible thing called cancer and diabetes. Well, you see, that is false, because that would be like saying if a person takes poison and dies, that he had a disease, when all of us know that person died because he was poisoned. He was perfectly healthy, he had no disease, but you gave him an overdose of a toxin, something that reacted with his body, perhaps caused so much inflammation in his chest or his heart rate or whatever reason. Your heart was perfectly fine, but you ate a poison. Well, what if you are perfectly healthy, but you're taking a little poison into your body every day, and over the years you're getting more unhealthy and more unhealthy? You don't have well-being. You're not at ease. What if I told you that it's not a disease spontaneously out of the sky? You know, and think about this. Scientists and doctors want you to believe that the main reason of cancer is that your DNA is not working properly and the cells do not rebuild correctly. So they believe that cancer is some kind of a dysfunctional DNA. Well, that's true to a point. What they don't tell you is that your body has a way to deal with cells that are not functioning. Your body has a way to deal with cells that are not functional. Literally, there are special kinds of cells that are in your liver that, when all the blood goes through your liver, these certain kinds of cells stop bacteria, infection, and these kinds of unfunctional, dysfunctional cells. Any cell that is not appropriate and that should not be in your blood is taken care of by the liver. So that means if you don't have the blood going through your liver properly, if you don't have blood flow going through your liver, if the blood cannot get through the liver, you're going to have cancer. Now that's one of the best ways that I can say or explain what cancer is. It is a liver that's not functioning. However, is it just the liver? No. If your liver's not functioning, what's probably happening is almost nothing is functioning anymore. Your pituitary, your thyroid, your pineal gland, your kidneys, your stomach. There isn't the proper hydrochloric acid. Your stomach. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So it's very, very difficult to talk about health because there are so many things to talk about. However, let us just say for the moment, the liver has got to be functioning. What we want to know is, why is your liver not functioning? Why do you have cancer? Well, we're going to explain that in this video. I promise you, if you listen very carefully, you're going to understand this. It's not hard to understand. I'm going to help you understand how your body works and what you can do in a matter of moments to begin your walk down health lane, to begin this journey into your well-being again. And I guarantee it's not going to take long. Once you understand and you start putting the principles that I'm going to explain into practice, we can fix your body. And I've got some tricks that I'm going to tell you about that you can literally feel better in 15 minutes. Now, I don't want you to be incredulous. I want you to believe only the truth. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying and weigh it very carefully. Just because I'm telling you something doesn't make it true. You got to use your own cognitive ability. And that's why I'm going to try and explain how your entire body works and what exactly you need to do and why you're having these problems. See, if you go into a doctor and he says, hey, take this drug, and you say, oh, okay, and you don't know what you're doing, then you have no idea if it's going to work. You're going by his word. Well, of course, if you look at the results of people that are going by the doctor's recommendations, you can see proof that what they're saying is not working. Because people are not being cured of cancer. So they don't know what cancer is or how it works or how to stop it. The only thing they know to do is to take and burn it out of your body. Cut it off of your body. And I guarantee that's not going to work, because then it gets into your blood. And then it actually goes all over your body, and eventually you're going to die. And if you cut anything off of your body, you're probably going to need that thing that they cut off. I mean, you got lung cancer and you burn your lung out, now you can't breathe. And you're going to die. And then the pills that they give you after the chemotherapy are going to kill your liver. And like I said, the liver is a necessary organ to stop the formation of cancer. So it's a catch-22. They are killing you. They don't explain it to you. And I'm going to explain it to you, so please listen carefully. So how are you going to make your liver work again? Well, first of all, what's wrong with your liver? Why isn't it working? Well, imagine you see a person coming down the road walking towards you, and it's a young person, and they look trim and fit, and their bellies are like, they got a six-pack. They look really good. Now, let's take that same person and move it up 30 years. Somebody in their late 50s or 60s, invariably you'll see they have a very large stomach. They also have a big, almost looks like a goiter under their chin. Those two things are related. As we just got through mentioning, your thyroid is very important, your pineal gland, your thyroid gland, and your liver, your kidneys, all of those things. There is a lot of fat that will build up around your liver and kidneys. One of the main reasons why an older person has a large stomach is because their liver is enlarged. An older person's liver can be several times larger than it's supposed to be. And why do you suppose that is? Well, because the liver has Lots of tiny little veins and arteries running through it. Because you see, that's where the blood flows. Cells are treated in the liver. By going through the liver, the blood goes through the little veins. Some years ago, they started telling people, stop eating animal fat. Don't eat eggs. You don't want cholesterol. That's bad. Stop eating cholesterol. Oh, you got high cholesterol. To this day, people are on these statin drugs to reduce cholesterol. That's killing people. I guarantee it. You need cholesterol. It might lower your cholesterol, as they say. Only thing is, they don't know, and evidently, and they're not telling you, you need cholesterol. I'm going to explain this. It's very, very important that you understand that cholesterol, you don't get enough of it. Almost nobody in this country is getting enough cholesterol. The sunshine converts cholesterol that's in your skin into vitamin D. Vitamin D works along with iodine to get rid of cancer. But, remember, iodine is very good for the thyroid. Oh, see, your liver has a function. Your stomach triggers the liver to send down bile. You have a store of bile in your gallbladder, and lots of you don't even have a gallbladder. About, I think, 1 million people every day in this country have their gallbladders removed. Okay, the gallbladder is a sac that's full of bile, and that is basically your alkalinity. It's a very alkaline substance. Without that, you're going to be very acidic. Now, you see, your stomach has got to be very, very acidic, or it cannot break down food. If you don't break down the food very, very small into little ionic particles, you cannot get nutrition. And of course, if you don't get nutrition, you're going to die. So it's very important that you have all of these functions. They take your gallbladder out. These are the doctors that are trying to keep you well. And they've just removed your gallbladder, which means they've removed your ability to be alkaline in the rest of your body. And so that acid that's in your stomach now is going to end up throughout your body. Your blood's got to be 7.3. Well, if you remove the gallbladder, now your blood is going to have a very, very difficult time to maintain the proper alkalinity. It's very serious what these doctors are doing to people. They have no idea what they're talking about or what they're doing, and they're killing you. And so you might think that once you remove that little bucket of alkalinity, of bile, that your body needs to stay alkaline, you might think that, oh, well, then your stomach is going to get too acidic and you're going to have heartburn and stuff like that. No, that's the opposite of the truth. When you have indigestion, you have acid reflux. It's the wrong kind of acid. It's not the hydrochloric acid that you need to have in your stomach, which is very acidic. But you don't have enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach to break it down. Uric acid starts multiplying because your body's not able to create hydrochloric acid because of the fact that that is created when your liver is working properly, and when you have a gallbladder, and when you have a kidney, and these are all working properly because of the blood flow and a lack of inflammation, the enlarging of your liver, which is because of the plaque that's getting in the veins and giving you high blood pressure. And it's a chain reaction. It's a catch-22. If you got this wrong, it creates that wrong. So now your body cannot produce hydrochloric acid. So what happens is you began to use uric acid, which is your pee. Now, that part of your body where your pee is supposed to be acidic. It's not supposed to be that acidic. You know, you can notice in your body that something's wrong when you have hemorrhoids. That's an inflammation swelling, okay, because of the acid, this uric acid that's too acidic. And it's also, you know, you might feel burning in your genitals because of the uric acid. Because your body's not breaking down food properly, because your kidneys are not absorbing minerals, and the minerals are what make you more alkaline. So if the blood flow is not going through your kidneys, then you're not able to be alkaline. And then if you were able to be alkaline and somebody removed your gallbladder, which is where all that is stored, all of that beautiful bile, that bile is an acid. Remember now, fat is an acid. Remember fatty acids? So all of this stuff, this critical stuff that we need comes from cholesterol and fat. But it comes from animal fat. And you can also use fats like olive oil and flaxseed oil. Fish oils, very good. That's an animal-based fat. But you have to have certain kinds of fat, like DHE, which comes from animal fat, for your body to function. And so you need the proper type of fat, because you need to make this acid that goes and makes hydrochloric acid. If you're not making the proper kind of acid, then you've got an acid that's not correct. So the animal fat that they've taken out of the diet was replaced with hydrogenated oils. Now, first of all, canola oil is a genetically modified vegetable, as well as the corn and the soy. And so all of these soy oils and canola oils and corn oils that is drenching your food is a genetically modified thing. And therefore there's pesticides and all kinds of crap in there that's causing you very serious health problems. But on top of that, it's hydrogenated. So that means that when they cook it or hydrogenate it, it forms a long genetic molecular structure that cannot be digested, and then it turns into plaque. So not only are you not getting that fat so that it goes into your skin to make hyaluronic acid so that you have youth in your skin, and hydrochloric acid in your stomach so that you can break down your food and get nutrition, the glands and the organs are not able to create the hormones so that you can live properly, have well-being. You see, this is where it causes diabetes, because you see, insulin is a hormone, and it's created by the pancreas primarily. And so all of this is interconnected, but it really, if you want to just understand it in a very simple manner, you need lots of cholesterol and oil. But you need it to be animal fat that's not burned, raw olive oil, flaxseed oil, fish oil, milk, butter, cheese, and animal fat. That is what gives you health. I mean, we're not just talking about one of the things that you need. It's like the thing. The minerals and the vitamins and all these things are very important. But the basic thing that your body uses, your whole body is full of oil and fat. Every cell of your body is full of this hyaluronic acid. So if you're not returning the fat into your stomach, then you're not going to be able to live, and therefore the cells are going to break down. And when the cells break down, they go through your blood, they go through your liver, through the little arteries. And if your liver's not functioning, then the liver cannot get rid of the bad cells, the bacteria, the viruses, the disease. So, number one, make certain that you get rid of all hydrogenated oils from your diet. And this can help you immediately, because I'm about to tell you something that you're going to feel odd about, but I promise you it will make you feel better immediately, and long term it's going to give you health. If you do some other things that we're going to talk about. You need to literally, since you haven't been, getting enough cholesterol, you need to start eating eggs. Go to the farm down the road. They're selling these eggs from their chickens running around the yard. Fresh, free-range chickens. They're 100 times more healthy and have much better cholesterol than the eggs that you buy at the store. Because the eggs that you buy at the store, these chickens are fed what? The same genetically modified corn, scratch, or whatever they're feeding them. Some kind of grain, either genetically modified or hybridized grain, mostly corn and stuff, that is causing the chicken cholesterol in the egg to be poor. Very much like the hydrogenated oil. Now the chicken oil, or the egg, is not going to be healthy for you. So it's important that you go and get eggs from a farm where they let their chickens run around in the yard and eat whatever they want. And then those eggs are going to be 100 times more nutritious. And especially, you're going to be able to get not only the nutrients you need that your body must have, which we're going to talk about in this video, because this video is going to last a long time. You're going to find out about all these nutritional things that you need. So you're going to know that you've got to eat these kinds of foods. It's important. You think, well, I don't have to eat perfectly right. You know, I'll just detox or something. No, that's not good enough. Okay, we're going to get into all of that. But that's why you need these eggs. And then you need to make sure that you stop frying your food in oil, because you're burning the oil. I know you're going to miss it. But if you want to live, you cannot eat this burned, fried oil, especially if you're using vegetable oil to start with. If you're going to cook with oil at all, you can use coconut oil because it withstands a higher temperature. But if you're going to do that, put very little oil on your food to cook it. Preferably use water if you're going to cook your food. You can steam it or warm it up, but burning it is something you don't really want to do at all. That makes carcinogens, and it burns and hydrogenases the oil, and it's all bad for you. And then you can't have hormones working properly. You can end up with diabetes. So back to the liver. Now, if your liver's not functioning, all of these things are happening, and you're not getting rid of the cancer. So why is your liver not functioning? Well, you got to have blood flow. Remember, the blood carries all the vitamins and nutrients to the rest of the body. Your intestinal tract replaces the lining in your stomach, in your intestinal tract. It replaces it every few days. So you see, as long as you've got nutrition and you've got your body balanced and the pH balance and the oils and everything you need, then in a few days, whatever's wrong with your stomach is going to be healed. The problem is you're so imbalanced, you've got acid in there that's burning a hole. The wrong kind of acid. And see, because up there in your stomach, you need it very acidic, but you don't have enough acid in your stomach. Your body's having to go with uric acid. And uric acid is supposed to be way down there at the farthest end of your gut, down by your genitals, where you go to the bathroom, where it's being released. And if it's too acidic there, then it's causing all kinds of hormonal dysfunction. Because testosterone and things like that in the genitals and estrogen is all getting screwed up. And this is why a lot of women end up with cancers, ovarian cancer and so forth like that, because there's too much acid in there. Uric acid, too much of it. The only way to solve that is you've got to get the hydrochloric acid just exactly where it needs to be. One way you can do that without eating a better diet, of course, is just go to the health food store and get hydrochloric acid. Take it with your meals. That will help you immensely. That's just another one of these little tricks. Your body has got to have the proper amount of hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Just take 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how bad you are, how you know, if you got a lot of indigestion, you know you don't have the proper hydrochloric acid. So people take calcium, you know, Tums and Rolaids to get rid of that indigestion and that acid reflux. But that's a bad thing, to taking the calcium, because you want acid in your stomach. The problem is you got the wrong kind of acid. The acid reflux is uric acid. So getting back to the liver now, why is it not functioning? Well, remember what we said. You're eating all of these hydrogenated oils, which is causing plaque. So it's not able to use the oil properly and lubricate your body and create all the hormones and insulin and process the sugar properly. And all of this is making a very bad acid going throughout the rest of your body and into your blood. So your liver's working overtime, and your kidneys and your pancreas. Because your kidneys is trying to keep the blood at 7.3. So if it's overworking, the kidneys aren't working properly. And so the kidneys get stones and they get plugged up. They start to get inflamed. They're not working. They're not absorbing magnesium. And they're not creating bicarbonates to make your body alkaline. Your liver is plugged up. All the little arteries that are going through your liver are all plugged up with plaque because you're eating this vegetable oil that's hydrogenated. That's a long molecular structure that cannot be digested and turns into plaque. So not only are you not getting cholesterol, real cholesterol that is in real foods, okay? The only bad cholesterol is cholesterol that you get in animals that are fed these genetically modified grains or oils that has been hydrogenated. Any other kind of real natural oil. That's why you want to get peanut butter with palm oil, because that's a natural oil. It's not hydrogenated. Do not buy peanut butter with hydrogenated oil. Okay, and that also means don't get eggs that are from a store, but get it from your neighbor. That means that you eat grass-fed beef, because when the beef are being fed all these genetically modified grains, it's ruining the meat and the fat that's in the beef. So this is like the almost #1 health problem in America, is that all of the fats you're eating is wrong. You need to go back to eating grass-fed beef, your neighbor's farm chicken eggs, and your neighbor's farm chickens. Preferably fish. Salmon is the best, because salmon has all the nutrition and the minerals and the iodine that's in the sea vegetables, seaweed, all of that is very important to your health. So if your liver then has got plaque, if you got plaque going through your body, gets into the arteries and the little veins. This is where you get varicose veins, high blood pressure, because the walls of your arteries get filled with this plaque, and it makes the hardening of the arteries, it makes the hole, the passageway, smaller, which causes more pressure, more blood pressure, and you can have a stroke, an aneurysm, or, you know, it's just hard on your heart and your brain. And there might be lots of little veins that aren't even getting any blood flow. This is the main reason that you have disease. All of the things we're saying, but this is one of the main reasons. If you have a heart attack, it's simply because your artery is obstructed with plaque. And so had you eaten the way we said, you wouldn't have that plaque. And you'd have this flow of blood. Now, the other thing is that in order to rebuild your brain or your toes, you ever notice when you get older, you start getting fungus on your toes? Why? Because there's no blood flow. It's that simple. You may, if you've got tennis elbow, you know, where your elbow is sore and it's just not healing. It's always sore and it never heals. It's because there's no blood flow. One thing you can do besides eating right is start massaging that little bone that sticks out on your elbow. Not the one on the bottom, but one on the side. That little bone that sticks out on the side of your elbow. Just go back and forth, rubbing it so you can get some blood flow into there. Okay? If you've got feet that they look really bad and there's a lot of fungus, make sure you get blood flow. How are you going to do that? Well, you've got to get rid of the plaque. The plaque isn't just causing heart disease, it's also causing diabetes, plugging up your pancreas, stopping the bile that the liver sends down to the stomach from being synthesized into hormones. And so your kidneys are plugged up and they're not absorbing magnesium. Magnesium's like a magnet that pulls all the other minerals through. And that makes you more alkaline. That is what keeps your blood at 7.3 alkaline. And so that's what your kidneys are doing. If your kidneys aren't working correctly and they're overworking, then you can die from kidney disease. But if that's happening, you've got a lot of other things going on too. If the blood cannot flow to your brain, then the nutrition, the building blocks of life, cannot get to your brain. So your brain begins to deteriorate. And so the cells don't reproduce correctly. The cells, when they don't reproduce correctly, normally, if you had any of those, they'd go through the liver, and your liver would take care of that. But now your liver's not working because the liver, all the little veins in your liver is plugged up with bile, and it begins to become inflamed. It becomes acidic, inflamed. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the size of your actual liver, and your belly can be so big, partly because your liver and kidneys are expanded and inflamed, and you're literally dying. So you've got to have blood flow. If you're eating the right nutrition, and you're able to break it down because you have hydrochloric acid in your stomach, so every one of the cells has got to have all the components. It's got to have a lot of fat, a lot of cholesterol. It's got to have all the minerals, the whole chain of minerals. All the molecules and minerals have got to be in line. And if one of them is missing, it does not make a good conduit for your energy level. Energy's got to flow through. In nature, you see that Metal is a very good conduit for electricity. Well, your body needs to be full of electricity. It needs to be alive. And if you don't have all the minerals in a chain so that the energy can flow through the cells and burn the fat that's in the cell, and then replace that with more fat, and synthesize hormones and have all the functioning of your glands and organs and so forth, if all of this is not taking place, then the cell is dying or dead. Now your body can't get rid of the cell. It has to encysst all these dying cells in what we call a tumor or a cyst. And inside that tumor, a lot of times, is a lot of dead cells we call cancer. Your body insists it. You're not going to die. Don't worry about it. If you've got a tumor or you've got a big cancer tumor, don't worry about it. Your body's going to get rid of it. I said, wait a minute, I've had this for 5 years and my body isn't getting rid of it. It's growing. Well, that's because you don't have blood flow. If your blood is flowing through your kidneys, through your liver, through your veins, all the way down to your toes, up into your brain, the arteries are open, there's no plaque, then the blood is going to bring the nutrition into all those parts of your body and rebuild it. As long as you have the nutrition and the minerals and the nutrients in the blood, then it's going to rebuild everything just fine. But if there's a block anywhere, it cannot rebuild. So not only do you need the blood flow to rebuild the parts of your body that you need to heal, but you need the blood flow that removes toxins from your body. And there's certain organs that are equipped to remove those toxins. Your liver is one of them. And if your liver's not working because there's no blood flow, then it cannot go and start removing all those poisons and shrinking that cancer.